Welcome to the Rob and Kale podcast. Rob Sanders.
Some would be entertained by it. Some would be horrified by
Kale Carolina Jackpot Hall.
All would be interested in it.
The Rob and Kale podcasts.
Let's go. And welcome into the Rob and Kale podcast. I'm Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining us this evening. We have a jam-packed show for you. I'm here in Columbia, South Carolina, where it's very stormy tonight. My podcast partner, I always say this when he's on vacation, he's in parts unknown because I don't know where the hell he is. He is Mr. Carolina Jackpot, Kale Hall. What's up, buddy?
Not much, Rob. How are you doing this evening?
I'm good, my friend. It's not fair to say parts unknown. You're in, I don't know, you're in one of those northern states.
We're in the Poconos. I'm in East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania.
East Stroudsburg, PA.
Yeah, it's 72 degrees outside. I could almost be wearing long sleeves right now.
God loves you, son. Yeah. That's pretty cool, Jackpot. It's cool that you're getting some time off up there. And
did you see the video, the short video I posted earlier with the sheep or goat or whatever it was?
I've been following you along the way on where in the world is Carolina Jackpot, and I've not caught that video though. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. When we got to the place we were staying, there was an animal up under the edge of a car, and it appeared to be like a deer that was injured. So we pulled up next to it because the wife wanted me to get out and, check and make sure it was okay. And this fucking deer gets up off the ground and starts bleeding at me. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? I'm like, is this a goat? Fuck this. So it ran me back to the car. And then it was.
Let me make sure I understand something. There's something that happens with an animal on the side of the road. And Mrs. Jackpot says, Kale, you need to go out and check on that animal, sir. So you get out of your.
It was in the parking lot of the condos.
Okay.
I thought it was weird because they don't allow pets here. I'm like, is it wild? Get loose? Like, what the fuck?
It's in the parking lot. And Mrs. Jackpot says, Kale, you need to go over there and check on that because he could be hurt. So you being the good spouse that you are, you go over there, and I don't know if you're gonna like duct tape it up or whatever, but you think it's a deer, but it ends up being a goat that I don't know, makes goat noises at you. Is that kind of what happened?
In a nutshell, it was really, really weird.
Did it sound like this? No?
Not quite.
Okay. Well, Big Barney Ross knows what that is. He was talking about it earlier. That's our new sound effect that I put together for the show. All right. So, in addition to Jackpot, where in the world is Carolina Jackpot? We put out the first. I think I put out the first 3 streams from the NCAA 2025 game.
That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. The first one I did was Clemson in Georgia. Give you the micro recap here. Clemson hung with them, and then all of a sudden, Cade Klubnik became Cade Klubnik in the fourth quarter. Throws an interception. Clemson ends up losing. I think it was 13-7 or something like that. All right. We did South Carolina at Old Dominion. Old Dominion comes back late and beats South Carolina, which was kind of, I'm like, wow, okay. I decided today, I was like, you know what? I'm going to put together a new, another stream today. Let's do something different today, though. Let's have the South Carolina-Tennessee game, which we're not going to have this year thanks to Texas and Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And joining the conference. So with that, we simulate that game, and South Carolina gets a 75-yard touchdown pass from Lenoris Sellers to old cross-eyed Nick Harbor, and the Gamecocks win. They beat Tennessee, which was kind of funny.
Harbor's ship comes in to port.
It comes in, and Eastbound Dog is correct. I've been battling back and forth with with Tennessee fans all day. Like, here's the funny part: they thought that I streamed 4 or 5 different streams to to get one where South Carolina would win.
You did
No,
it live, right? You did live stream it, right?
it streams it live, and I sit and do commentary basically by I
You
figured
didn't
out that I
just you didn't just
could,
you didn't just stream it and then upload it after you knew the result.
no, I don't know. I'm watching it live. I think I'm like it's almost like when you live stream a game, Jackpot, how you're like 2 seconds behind.
Yeah.
I'm like 2 seconds ahead because it streams here first. I mean, it plays here first and then goes to the YouTube channel. So I mean, I have like a 2 second, 2 or 3 second delay or whatever on my end until it gets to theirs. But I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. But it's interesting though that South Carolina gets the simulation win over Tennessee, and the Tennessee fans are just ass hurt. Jackpot.
It's a sad commentary when you get ass hurt over a child's toy. I mean that is,
It's
and make excuses for it too. I saw some excuses over there in the comment section. I was about to wonder when the sand got dumped on the field again.
yeah. I mean,
But it was weird at the very end of it because Nico, I'm about to leave you, had driven them down to like the 5 yard line with like 5 seconds left to play, and then the game was just over. It's like there was no last play. I'm going to assume that the time ran out.
the clock
I
just
don't know.
ran out the way that it works, but it's interesting though because I want to keep. We're going to keep track, and all of these simulations will be on the on the um, on the page here. So be sure to check those out, and we're going to keep them up and see how that simulation matches up against what really happens. Let me address Jack Dugan, who is over in the comment section, who is commenting so fast he's got to slow down. Simulate NC State and Clemson. Okay. I mean, just it's okay, man. Is that what I'm not going to simulate it now. This is not Burger King. You can't just pull up and expect to have things your way, sir. All right? Calm down. Calm down. We'll simulate that game. It's part of the part of Clemson's season anyway. So just let
So Harry Legg says SMU lost to Nevada in the simulation.
yeah.
Oh,
We'll see how it works. We'll see how it works as the season goes on, but it's kind of shocked that South Carolina lost to Old Dominion. And when I was putting it together today, I was like, because Tennessee dominated the first half, and then I'm like, all of a sudden South Carolina just woke up and was like, all right, we'll see how it goes throughout the season. So
that's kind of like what we do in the second half of the season too. Normally, we wake up. So we
here's
woke up in the second half of the game.
Elijah, the Tennessee fan, says, I did a dynasty and played South Carolina in the SEC championship, and the game ratings are very close. It's a video game. Tennessee fans gotta chill.
Here's a Tennessee fan with some with level head, common sense, and you don't
Yeah.
see a lot of those.
Well, there you go. So we'll simulate that game. Someone asked me to simulate Clemson and Tennessee. We'll do that too. Got plenty of time this season. Don't worry. We'll get that's. I'll do Louisville versus Clemson. Thank you, Big Barney Ross. We might have to do that too. But yeah, interesting stuff there, Jackpot. It seems like folks like the Sims, so we'll keep those coming. Did you watch any of them, Jackpot? I know you've been traveling.
Yeah, I told you. Yeah, I saw the end of the Tennessee one. I knew
Okay, that's right.
that we won. I knew they lost to Old Dominion. I didn't see any of the Clemson one. I'll have to check it out.
I was I did that one Wednesday night after the South Carolina Old Dominion one, Wednesday night after the show. And it was kind of I was like, this is, we'll go ahead and do this one. It'll be that way we have the first 2 games of week 1 out of the way for South Carolina and Clemson. And I'm thinking South Carolina's going to win 42-14 or something like that. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, did not expect that. Jackpot's gonna wake up tomorrow morning and be like, "What in the blue hell?"
Um,
So
Jerry Wells said you have kin, not this part, so on the other side, more closer to where the shooter's from.
does your shirt say "Bucking Elks"?
Yep, Elkin. This is from Elkin, North Carolina. Top got this. I had a hat about 5 years ago that I got that was an Elkin High School Bucking Elks hat, and I lost it when I went river tubing in Helen, Georgia, a few years ago, and so I wanted another one and I couldn't find it. So that we stopped up there yesterday morning on the way up here, and we actually found it in Ingalls. They have a little rack with high school stuff on it there, and I was like, "Well, what do you know?" So I grabbed it. The Bucking Elks.
His Bucking Elks shirt there, very funny.
I just think that's cool.
Yeah,
I don't know how good they are. They're probably going 0-10. Who the hell
yeah.
knows?
They're probably gonna go 0-10. That's probably the
Um,
way that it's gonna work out. So
Randall watched my video this morning and said Jackpot said he's not doing business with Indians anymore. Look, dude. Look, those motherfuckers are something else. Those damn hotels. They. Did you hear the story about what happened at the hotel?
no, I did not. I seen where you were outside the hotel.
Well,
I did
no,
catch where you were.
I
Sorry, go ahead.
went to the hotel I was supposed to stay at last night. And I had booked a room there. It was 135 bucks. I booked a room back in April, and he said he didn't have a record of it. There was nobody, not one single soul wasn't on one fucking car in front of this motel. So I'm like, is this fucking place closed? Are you fucking kidding me? So it turned out it's not closed. He was in there walking around. He had a pair of sandals, but he had them off, so he's walking around barefooted. His wife is sleeping in the hotel office, like right behind him. She's laying on the couch back there, and she had a towel wrapped around her whole entire body. I'm like, is this fucking woman invalid, or is something? What the hell is going on here? So I said, like, look, I just got a room here. He's like, he looked at me like he didn't understand. He said, it would be $85. I'm like, what? I'm like, no, no, sir. I said, I paid for one already. I said, I paid $135. I said, why are you telling me $85 now? What the hell's going on? So then he pulls his cell phone out and calls his brother. And he said, please, talk to my boss. So I'm sitting here talking to nameless, faceless boss who speaks English just about as damn good as if he had a fucking bucket of marbles in his damn mouth. He's like, what? Yeah, okay. You have confirmation number? I'm like, no, fucking confirmation number. I said I booked this in April. I'm like, God damn it. I'm like, I've never had a problem like this ever before. I said, I'll be back. So I went out to my car to get my cell phone, see if I could retrieve the confirmation number. And on the way out there, I said, I'm like, who's fucking me? I'm like, I'm going to call a credit card company and dispute this charge because they never sent it over to him. So he says, and I'm going to get him to cancel it. So that's exactly what I did last night. I called and I filed a breach on my credit card. And they said there's not, they'll send me a letter and that they'll resolve it then, but they're going to go on ahead and credit my account back pending or that it's going to get resolved. So that tells me that the person that I talked to knew that this wasn't bullshit and he could look at my account and see that I'd never like filed a claim or anything. So I'm pretty sure I'll get my money back for it. But that's some weird stuff. I'm thinking he's fucking me. I'm like, because there's nobody here at this motel. He's trying to get some money out of me. So he's going to try to get me to pay twice. He probably already has that $135. Oh, fucker.
I'm sorry, Jackpot. So where did you end
I
up?
mean, what? No, I went right down the road to Comfort Inn, and in terms of it wasn't a nice hotel. I mean, it wasn't nice. It was not the best in the world, but damn sure wasn't the worst. I mean, the bed was comfortable enough. The shower could have used a little bit more cleaning, but I mean, it had decent water pressure, and I mean, you get what you paid for. It's only $109. I mean, I wasn't forking out a whole bunch of money to stay one night, like halfway through a travel destination. Just wasn't.
So, all right. Well, so that was like your stay over spot, and not to spend
Yes.
any more money there. So that's good.
No, that whole little town was just it was just a shithole. I mean, it's stuck in. Well, it's Pine Grove, Pennsylvania. And look, I looked up Pine Grove, Pennsylvania on Wikipedia. They have in 1930, the population of Pine Grove, Pennsylvania, was 200 more people than what it is now. It's like 2,100 people live there now. It's like 2,300 live there in 1930.
It sounds like it's a family tree that's shaped like a fork.
Yeah. Somebody commented and said that my ex-wife was from there, and that there used to be a lot of coal mines around there. I guess maybe that's why nobody lives there anymore. But yeah, definitely a shithole. And it's weird too because it's only like 20 minutes away, 30 minutes away maybe from the state capital, Harrisburg. It's strange.
Yeah, I got nothing. Big Barney Ross says, I speak in Arabic to them, and they go off.
That's
Yeah.
that dude.
They're sitting there talking, and all of a sudden, Big Barney Ross understands what they're saying and answers them. And they're like, oh, that's not good.
Oh,
Here, soundtrack for more for Peg and Megan here. Some of you will get it, some of you won't. Big Barney Ross got it immediately. All right, there you go. All right, well, jackpot on other notes. I know you put out a video on it, but South Carolina picked to finish 13th in the SEC.
mm-hmm.
I mean, it's kind of what you expected. I know that's kind of the way that those writers down there are going to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they are. I mean, they prop Florida up above South Carolina because they want to see Florida do well. But I mean, it is what it is. They had a disappointing season last year. Got a brand new starting quarterback. He's not a true freshman, but he's got the experience of one. And I mean, he's going to have to come into his own. There's just so many unknowns with that team. If all those unknowns, especially on the offensive side, I think defensively you pretty much know. I think you know what you're going to get, except for these portal guys you got coming in. I think Kyle Kennard and that linebacker that they picked up from Charlotte, who led the team in tackles, I think those could be solid players. The guy from Charlotte could at least be a depth piece. I don't know that he's going to be a starting contributor, but I think that Kyle Kennard might start off the edge for South Carolina, and I think that's a big time pickup. So I think you know what you're going to kind of get in the defense. I think they're going to be a lot better than what you saw the first year last year. Offense, you don't know what you're going to get. You're putting all your eggs in the basket of a guy who's had very limited playing time, is mop up duty, talented, but yet we don't know how he's going to do against some of the better competition. He's got a wide receiver room that a lot of them have had success other places, but they haven't played the kind of talent South Carolina's going to play defensively. So, that's a lot to worry about. And then, of course, there's the whole offensive line situation. Is that thing going to be improved? Is it going to be much improved? Is it not going to be improved at all? All those things matter. You got some players who were from the transfer portal who were injured a lot last year. Are they going to be back to form? It's a lot of unknowns.
Well,
A lot of mystery, a lot of mystique.
Well, speaking of unknowns, jackpot. I've been on the show and I've said for a while I don't think South Carolina's winning a game in October for the second October in a row. And I know people think I'm just over the top with that, but I am putting together something where I'm going to give you in the next couple of days every team that has the opportunity to make the playoffs. Okay. And it's about a list of, I think, 28, 29, 30 teams, something like that. that I've been doing some research on. Of those 30, we'll have our 12. Now, the reason that I'm putting this list together is, people talk about who's going to make the playoff, who's going to make the playoff, who's going to make the playoff. It's really hard to do and predict because of something that I didn't think about, Jackpot. I think this is going to be the season where we have a set of teams that are considered front runners that we think, all right, that team's going to win 9, 10, 11 games, be right there in the playoff hunt. They're going to some of them are going to stub their toe early, have an uncharacteristic loss, and you're going to have guys on that team who have these fat NIL deals that are going to come up with hamstring injuries and turf toe and everything else, and they're not going to give a shit. And there's going to be a lot of dumpster fires that are going to be out there from programs that should be well off and great. And I put that out there because when I step back and look at it, you may end up with, we mock Shane Beamer a little bit here, but he may end up getting some quote unquote fluke wins simply because some of these players just aren't going to play. And that's going to happen. If you have a team that stumbles out and they were expected to win 10 games and they have a 2-1 start, or let's say a 3-2 start. Okay, you could use Clemson last year as an example. They went 4-4 to start the season, plagued by turnovers, and then won the rest of their games and won out. All right. Now, there's a sentiment that Sweeney rallied the troops, and they were able to do that, and that's kind of what happened. I think there's not going to be as many fighters this year. You're not going to have stories like that anymore, simply based on the NIL, the way people can transfer in and out, and the whole Bobby Knight theory of ass meets bench doesn't matter anymore. And I think
So you're saying with South Carolina down the stretch, I mean that could happen, say like with a team like a Mizzou, for instance, like if they shit the bed and lose to Boston College or somebody.
I'm saying like South Carolina and A&M, or here's an even easier, a better one: South Carolina and Ole Miss, highly touted Ole Miss, who people think are going to be a top 12, top 10 team, and going to be right on the cusp of being a playoff team. If Ole Miss stubs their toe, and they don't have a very good September, when they play the Gamecocks, they may not have everybody out there.
Yeah, well, no, that game's still relatively early in the season, and aside from that, though, with them, I don't see them losing a game before they come to South Carolina anyway. They should come in there undefeated.
Well, that's fair. I mean, I'm trying to think of another example and there are other teams. Ole Miss is one that is there, but Texas A&M, their over/under projections, what, 8.5?
Yeah, for some reason.
The same, yeah, could be there in the same boat. I'm just saying it's really hard to predict because teams may turn themselves into dumpster fires simply because they're going to lose one or two playmakers here or there. So I really think we're going to see a lot of that this season. I'm calling that early. So it's going to be
definitely. And if I do see that, it's going to be disappointing. And that's where they need to step in and regulate a lot of this stuff. If we start to see things like that.
I'm not trying to get on the trend. I'm just saying when you look at stuff now and you're trying to predict who goes where, it's going to end up biting you in the butt simply because some of these that you would think would be, oh, that's going to be an easy win, may not be. May not be because you may not have all your guys. So there's that. Billy with a good point. Players going to go where the bag is bigger and can start. Get in where they fit in. Jay says Rob means if Ole Miss loses to a crappy team like LSU. It's not what we were going with, sir. Not what we were going with. You're funny, Jay. I'm just saying there's an opportunity there for for some chaos to happen, Jackpot.
Yeah, definitely.
Bulldog got it correct. Very good, sir. Anytime we have dumbness, we're gonna have this nice cackle here. So, goodness. Anyway, if you want to join the show, have at it now. Kentucky's another team that might end up with something like that. So, yeah, I mean, you may actually be a 7-win team, but you may end up as a 9-win team because you're playing a bunch of donuts. They're just hollow. They're
Yeah,
not
playing
exactly.
a bunch of tomato cans down the road.
Yeah. All right. What else? What else do you have for the show this evening, Jackpot? You have any more travel stories you want to share with us? What did you do with this goat? I mean, I haven't watched the video yet. So tell us what you did with it.
We just let it be. It turned around and stood back over by the car that it was leaning up under, and it just I don't know where it went. I guess it went on its merry way.
I figured, as witty as you are, Jackpot, you would have looked at the wife and been like, "Honey, how are we going to clean this goat in the parking lot to eat it?" I figured you would say something like that.
Well, yeah, at the time I got kind of scared of it when it started. I thought it was going to chase me. And it wasn't obviously I was called it a him. It obviously wasn't a him because it had no horns. So it was a female, whatever. It was a sheep, goat, whatever it was, female. It was bleeding quite loudly. Bah, bah.
We gotta go to the educated portion of the show. What is a female goat called, honey? I don't know.
A nanny goat.
Nanny goat? We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Did the nanny goats sound like this? I'm having too much fun with this clip. Anyway, if you guys want to join into the program, I'm taking requests too for simulations, Jackpot. Is there, since you were such a gentleman and did the Colorado preview for me, I'll be happy to do a simulation that you approve of, sir. Do you want to do one with Colorado, or do you want to go somewhere else? Clemson, Tennessee might be fun.
I'd like to simulate. I want to simulate that Colorado-Nebraska matchup.
Colorado, Nebraska.
Well, they play though. We're going to simulate. We want to simulate fictional matchups, I guess, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like a good one would be.
Let's simulate Josh Heupel versus Deion Sanders.
So Tennessee and Colorado.
Yeah, in Neyland Stadium. I want to see that.
You want Deion to come to Neyland Stadium.
I want Deion to come to Neyland Stadium. I want to come out there when they start running through the Big T and doing the Scott Hall.
Will says LSU plays South Carolina this year. So yeah, we'll have that.
Yeah, we'll simulate that the week of.
Week of. Yeah. So Biscuit says the score will be 60-57. Billy goes,
Billy
does the game
why you want to cheat for?
No, we don't do that.
Why you want to cheat? What the fudge, dude? Game just came out. Why are you already trying to do that?
If there was a cheat, I'm sure Tennessee's already done it.
Facts.
All right. Well, there you go. If you'd like to call and join the program and put out there the simulation you would like, we'll take those as well.
Rob, did you? I have something here. Did you see Lane Kiffin went off on Paul Feinbaum?
I did, and it's typical.
Paul Feinbaum kind of tried to be a pussy. I mean, he was like, well, he's like, well, you compared me and said you said I was the Miley Cyrus of college football coaches. He's like, yeah, you see, Miley Cyrus making a comeback. Yeah, like he was trying to play it off like they were buddies, and like he was like Lane Kiffin was needling him, and just I think he was like legitimately doesn't fucking like him. So he was kind of giving a hard time, and Paul Feinbaum was just, I mean, he got egg on his face. Now, I don't really like Lane Kiffin, but in this instance, I think he was in the right. So
But Lane Kiffin's had to sit there for years and listen to Paul.
imagine being so much of a douchebag that someone will take Lane Kiffin's side over yours in an argument of douchebags. That's bad.
All right. Well, look, I don't know about all that, but I do know that Lane Kiffin had to put up with years of Feinbaum just basically sitting there in Alabama, 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 and he probably just got tired of it, you know. Let's welcome Paul to the show. Paul, hello, sir.
Hey, how are y'all doing tonight?
Good. What's going on,
Better
buddy?
than I deserve.
Good. I was watching a clip from SEC Media Day. Eli Drinkwitz had a pretty compelling argument for Mike Leach entering the College Football Hall of Fame, or maybe just the Football Hall of Fame. I was just wondering what y'all's thoughts were on that.
Yeah, I think the reason he's not is he doesn't have enough wins, right?
His winning percentage isn't at what is it 60%? You have to be a 60% winning percentage, and he's at like 59%. And if you would have had one more win,
given the situation, I think they can give him a pardon and put him in.
but
That's what I think.
they interviewed the director of the museum, and he basically was like, it's not my doing, blah blah blah. And I just want to sit there and be like, look, you are the director.
He's passing the buck.
Right. You are the director of the College Football Hall of Fame, sir. And you're telling me, yes, this man who died Leach would still be coaching now. It's not like he was going to retire.
Yeah, it wasn't going anywhere.
It would have you have the opportunity to actually be a leader, sir, and be like, look, we're going to get together and we're going to make this work because we goof about it, but Mike Leach's impact on the game from the offensive perspective, you can make an argument that everyone in college football uses some of the stuff that he did at some point. Not all of it, but some of it. And when you have much of an impact on the game, it's just he needs to be there. He really does.
He has a heck of a coaching tree.
He does
too. A lot of people. I mean, without him, there's no real Josh Heupel gimmick offense, right?
Right.
Because that's where he. I'm goofing, but that's where it kind of came from. So.
He has look, and it's not just me that says these things. You can go back and look at what a lot of coaches said. Nick Saban talked about he's one of the best offensive minds the sport has ever seen. When Nick Saban says that about you, it's probably, it's probably true. Nick Saban doesn't hand out compliments like, Wendy's hands out ketchup packets. It's not going to, if he says it's probably true.
You know who he was like was an offensive coach for back in the 90s, whose staff he was on?
God, I couldn't remember. I've read the stuff on him.
How Mummy up at Kensuckass. You remember him? The one that came from Valdosta State, and they were running that crazy fucking offense and throwing the ball like 60 times a game.
Yeah, I remember that. That's the way that it works.
It was the original air raid. Imagine Kentucky used to do that shit.
Well, but the reason that he did that, he even had an interview on that, and people laugh at me when I say this, but he said, the days of everybody having the offensive line that, the Oklahomas and all that of the world, you just don't have it. So you have to scheme to make up for it. So his scheme, what he came up with, was that to keep the offense on the field and to supplement they didn't have a good offensive line.
Was it not that it was not a good offensive line, or that it was undersized?
Well, I get what you're saying. They didn't have the talented offensive line, Jackpot.
Right.
So, they couldn't go and get these 6'6" dudes, like, Tree Babalabe or whatever your guy is that you've got at South. They didn't have guys like that.
Oluwatosin.
Yeah, whatever his name is. But
Oluwatosin.
I remember like Tom Sharp for Clemson was a starting center in the 90s, and he was 5'8", weighed
Who's
like
that?
205. Tommy Sharp was a center for Clemson in the 90s. I think it was Tommy Sharp, but he was like 5'8", and he wasn't he was a starting center for a Power 5 team, but you ended up with a lot of guys that were like that because they're just not a lot of big, huge guys out there. And Leach figured out that you could do his offense and supplement that. So that's a good question there, Paul. Man, what else you got?
Not much. I'm just gonna comment on the couple reporters asked Shane Beamer and Debo Williams about their thoughts on Juice Wells, and they tried to stay professional, but I could tell both of them, we're not big fans of him. So I'm actually going to be at the Ole Miss game, and I'm pretty excited about that. So it's gonna be a good time. So, but I appreciate y'all having.
Good. I hope he actually plays.
Oh,
What
you're
did they ask him about Juice Wells? I didn't see that.
What'd you say?
He asked what they said about Juice Wells, and they just asked him what they thought of Juice Wells and him, not being there, etc., that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm with you.
Same thing you do with anybody else that hits the portal, I guess. So it's not like
Hey, but Paul, you're always welcome, sir. Anytime you want to come on the program, sir.
Awesome, I appreciate it. Y'all take care, okay?
You do.
Yes, thank you. All right, so I think what they did was what you should do. And in front of everybody, we wish him well, but behind the scenes, fuck that dude. You know what I mean? That guy didn't want to be here. Just saying. He didn't want to be here. Fine.
Papa B. So Randall asked Papa B or he just asked where did Mike Leach live at in Mississippi, and Papa B said he lived in Starkville. That's where the school is, and he said it's the same house Joe Moorhead had. That's weird. So I say in the same house. I mean, does Mississippi State have like a parsonage for the head football coach?
I know it's that way at Newberry, and I say that because I know Coach Knight, but they had the coaches all had the same house or whatever. So maybe it's that way in Starkville because Starkville's in the middle of nowhere. They got, I don't know, jackpot. That's
just different.
Does that mean that Shane Beamer gets Will Muschamp's beach house or lake house?
I mean,
why not?
Yes.
Papa B says the $1 million house goes back on the market. The new coach buys it. He says Mullen built it. So Mullen built it, and then it went to Moorhead, and then it went to Leach. Okay.
That's different.
Very different.
Why would you want it? Well, I mean, I guess Dad Mullen kind of got a promotion because he took the Florida job. So, and then Joe Moorhead got fired. So I don't know if I'd wanted to then buying his old house. Seems like that might be a little bit of bad mojo associated with that.
Yeah, it probably smells like Fritos. I don't want that mess.
So for that reason, I definitely wouldn't want to buy Coach Boone's old house. But I mean, you see, it would have to be something that was owned by the school. Because Coach Boone gets fired, I mean, there's no time for Shane Beamer to buy Boone's old house to move into it.
I know. I'm just goofing, Jack, but it's that's. I just thought it would be funny. Hey, they're pitching Shane Beamer. Hey, you can come here and guess what? We're not going to pay you like all the other, but you get Muschamp's beach house. It's on Lake Murray. God damn it. Christopher, what's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
Where are you going?
I'm sorry, y'all.
Violence and just left the house, right?
Huh?
You didn't just commit domestic violence and leave the house, right? You're like walking through the house
not yet. I had to grab me another beer.
I was sitting there
Jackpot,
thinking,
what's up
man,
that
just tell her
what's
how to
up with
make
that
the. You don't have to hit her.
I'm sorry, y'all. I've been in Texas for the week, so I just got back home, so I missed all last
Huh.
week. I told Billy Cole I need to see them hearing aids again. You know, he needs to join the call. Shout out to R. So Jackpot, R was saying, I don't know who the hell R is, but R, he said Logan's offense schemes, needs to improve or whatever. I'm like, well, last year I don't consider that really Logan's offense. I mean, it was, but he was still, you know what I mean? I feel like Logan's will show himself this year. It has to be his schemes.
R
It's a
says
totally
you'll
new
see that.
quarterback.
Okay, it says Loggins is a bust. That's what R says. So R. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, who knows what? I mean, who knows what his offense will look like if we, that offensive line never. A lot of those plays never materialized. So
Not at all. You can't judge his scheme based on an offensive line that couldn't block anything in front of him. You know,
no.
but no,
I,
it's
I
good to
think
see.
I think I think it's safe to say the jury is still out on Loggins. We'll have to see if it's not fair to hammer him one way or the other. So
Not especially his first year stepping in, and he's an automatic bust.
it's not. I mean, I'm not saying that the Gamecock offense is going to be the shits this year because I don't. There's so many questions because Rocket Sanders was an all SEC type running back. We don't really know for sure what you got with Lenore Sellers other than the fact that he looked good for a few snaps here or there. I'm not sure who's going to catch balls other than Nick Harbor. And, you know, there's so many holes
That
that you got to fill there, and then fill them all. But I don't think it's fair to
you,
hold him accountable this year because he's just now getting pieces together. So
yeah, no, I totally agree. I just want to
I
shout
think
that out.
I think
But
Ju- I
hold
think
him
Juju
accountable, but
McDowell is going to make more of a contribution than people are talking about. Nobody's really talking about him.
I was about to say, so I know he had, was it a collarbone issue or
Yeah, he
something?
broke it.
Is he back?
Yeah,
yeah,
Okay,
back
he's
like
been
he never left.
yeah, I
there.
didn't know if he was back yet or if he was practicing or what.
Defensive coordinator, though, I think it's a make or break season for him. Come out and you get lit up by Old Dominion, and the season you get that sour taste in your mouth there at the beginning of the season. Your defensive coordinator may be finding some for sale signs in his yard. He'll have to move out of
If
the
he
defensive coordinator house.
look, if the defensive coordinator has a bad season this year, he's got to go. He's got all the perfect pieces. Well, I'm not going to say
Yep.
perfect, but I'm going to say he has a lot of there's a lot of good defensive players on
Oh
Carolina's
yeah.
defense. And like you got to go. If they suck this year, you got to go. There's no chance. I don't care if you go 3-3 or 3-5, whatever. Fuck that.
Yeah,
You got to go.
He got Nick Warring. That guy, he's gonna play on Sundays. I think Jalen
Devo,
Kilgore will end up playing on Sundays too. Yeah, yeah, him also. So yeah, no
I
excuses
Well,
for
definitely.
him.
Look, Jackpot, were you more confident with the offensive side of the ball or the defensive side of the ball?
Oh, without question, the defensive side of the ball.
defense all the way. Oh yeah, there's too many question marks on offense, and I'm not saying that's a
Feel like,
negative thing, but
don't you feel like if South Carolina is going to be that 7 or 8 win team, they're going to have to win games like 1917, games like that. They're going to have to gut wins out. I think that's how they're going to,
you,
if
you,
they're going to get to that 7, 8 win plateau there, that's how they're going to do it.
it's
Winning
gonna be a
games
fight.
1917.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, it's gonna be a fight, especially we don't know we don't know who the number one receiver is other than Harbor, but can you even consider him a number one? I, I mean, I think he has the potential, but he's still got to be
Look,
proven.
my buddy Mike Muse, friend of the program from Callaway's, him and I have conversations about football, and he's literally said Harbor's got all of that stuff, but he's cross-eyed. And I'm like, okay, are we just mocking the guy because he's? He goes, no, but does he have the ability to see the ball coming to him and the ability to catch it? You can have life-changing speed, but if you can't catch the
So,
ball, which he's had some issues with drops too, from what we've been told.
You,
You know,
in
maybe
that
he's
case,
not
you're a decoy.
that great. Well, no, I mean, run some damn jet sweeps with him. He's got Olympic speed. Let the
Yeah.
quarterback hand the ball off to him.
I mean, that's
Why
like if
not?
you see Lenore's. Oh my bad. If you see
Mhm.
Lenore Sellers and the way him and Russell, like they just have a totally just they communicate well on the field together. Like, I mean, you see how many passes Russell gets thrown to by Lenore's. I mean, I just feel like they're a
That's
good
fine.
combination.
That's fine, but I
But
mean, this is the season where Harbor's not going to have to deal with anybody else. If he can get where he can, catch the ball, I mean, there's nobody that hasn't said he's not a world class athlete because he is. But can they get the ball in his hands? That's the big thing.
yeah, it's gonna be a prove it season. I mean, that's
100%.
All
why
right,
you rank
Chris.
13th. But all right, y'all.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it, man. Look, the whole thing with South Carolina being 13th, I don't know how that's going to work. And the reason that I say that is it sounds like I'm just trying to make friends with Jackpot over there. Jackpot's going to hate me regardless. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But it's when I look at Florida, yes, they've got talent, but they haven't done anything with it. And I find it hard to believe South Carolina's going to finish behind them. But I could definitely see the wheels coming off too. It's just when I heard 13th, I was just a little bit shocked by that, to be honest with you. So there's that.
Well, I mean, the whole thing is when they don't expect anything from South Carolina is when they perform better. It seems like to me when they do expect something from them, it's when they disappoint. So maybe that'll prove itself out. I don't have a lot to go on right now. I'm not real confident about this season going in that we're going to do anything more than possibly make a bowl game. But
Here's the thing, though. I mean,
unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get in the playoffs.
well, the 2022 season, people seem to forget. I mean, the Tennessee game, you were 18-point dogs at home, Jackpot. You go.
I was more than that.
I mean, I think I remember 18. That could have been more, but you win that game at home, and then you've got the Clemson game. You go in, you're a 13-point dog there. You win that game on the road. Yeah. So Beamer's had the capability to, at least in that structure, to win some games that they, on paper, the Gamecocks had no business winning.
Yeah,
and they did.
And they won those games. And if you'll listen to the Sports Talk J channel, I don't know if you've ever heard him talk about some of his reasons why he believes the Gamecocks cheated to beat Tennessee and Clemson, and he lists a whole list of them. Number one, like Shane Beamer took $30,000 10 years ago to take some fucking game plan from them Wake Forest. Okay, whatever the bullshit. And one of the things was they went 5-8 ever since those two wins. Okay, well I mean that was you're bridging it over two totally different seasons, so that's irrelevant right there. And then doesn't factor in all those injuries and offensive line problems and all that. So I mean, it's kind of silly.
Vic says it was the wristbands. Very good, Vic.
Yeah.
I just I'm not walking. I've got to put my prediction video out for South Carolina too. I've got stuff written for that, but in the end, you could have a season where Shane Beamer rallies the troops there and they pick up a couple of wins, and we're looking at it from a perspective of not all these teams may have their whole thing like we talked about earlier. They may not have all their guys. We're going to have guys that are going to quit mid-season. We finally, we had it where the whole thing with Debo Samuel's a perfect example of that. Hey, I'm not going to play in the bowl game. Now it's going to get even worse, especially with these NIL deals. If I got $650,000 in NIL money and we're sitting at 4-4. Why in the blue hell, as a junior, am I going to go out there and play anymore? NFL is going to draft me anyway. You know?
Biscuit says he'll never forget the Tennessee cornerback getting burnt constantly, talking trash the whole game. Yeah, and that fucktard in last year's game, they booed him. His own fans booed him in pregame introductions when they introduced him. Kamal Hadden in the starting lineup, they booed him. But they were their arms were open. They were cheering him like hell when he picked off Spencer Rattler and took it in for 6. He was the greatest thing ever.
Spencer Rattler said it point blank. I mean, this was their Super Bowl. But, you know, I don't want to sit here and rip Tennessee fans all night. But, I mean, that's kind of the way that it is.
Our Arkansas man with some intelligent commentary here. Arkansas man number 1 star. Or maybe that's an Astro. I don't know. Or it might be a Booker on the screen. Says Mizzou isn't good. LOL. They just have a decent defense, and that's about it. Okay.
What is a decent defense?
I don't know. A decent defense.
Decent defense? What the fuck is that, Jackpot? Jackpot, your job on this show now is to interpret.
I got a screenshot.
Can I add that to the bookcase of accountability? I'm going to do that right now.
You can hold on a second.
I'm going to do it right now. I'm adding that to the bookcase of accountability, which you can find on robincaleshow.com.
Put that on Twitter.
Yeah, hold on, Jackpot. We're going to add
broadcast people in that. That's classic. They have a decent defense, and that's about it. I guess Luther Burden is just trash, and
Brady Cook is trash.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, what the fuck?
They've got a nerdy coach and a gay quarterback. Facts are fact, dude. I wouldn't care if he sucked on Peter 364 days a year. I mean, if he's throwing no touchdowns, I wouldn't care. Didn't bother me none. They had Michael Sam over there. He was gay. I mean, his boyfriend fed him cake out of his hand when he got picked in the first round of the NFL draft. They didn't care.
Yeah, they didn't care. By the way, just so folks can know, the bookcase of accountability, which is where we take things that may be outlandish, or they may not. We keep that and we add them at robincaleshow.com. Of course, the bookcase of accountability is up and running. There you go, Arkansas man. You've made the list. Mizzou isn't good. They just have a decent defense, and that's about it.
Billy Cole said, "What year was it Tennessee hung 28 points on USC Junior in the first year?" I think you're trying to say.
I didn't know. I forgot.
That was 2021.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that Billy Cole was the mayor of Grindr.
Yeah, you only scored 17 down the stretch.
I didn't know that about Bill.
Third quarter on.
I also didn't know. I forgot that Steve Sarkisian eats his Snickers candy bar upside down. There you go. Bookcase of accountability. Be sure to check that out at robincaleshow.com. No, I can't. Octavian says things so fast that I can't cut them up and put them on there. I mean, he's just so quick with that. Anyway. All right. Well, let's see here. What else do we have, Jackpot? I will be putting I get my ballot tomorrow for ACC kickoff. And we'll talk about how I'm going to put my order predictions up for when I submit my ballot. And I tell you what, Jackpot has had a profound influence on me that I've got SMU going to the ACC championship game. Wait, what?
Really?
Their schedule is dog shit, Jackpot.
I know. I know. I saw it.
Absolute dog shit. I think they go 11-1 this year,
You couldn't
and
ask
that'll be
for an
good enough
easier
for them to go
schedule.
to Charlotte. Yeah, that'll be good enough for them to go to Charlotte. So, all right. Well, final call for calls this evening, so Jackpot can get his stuff going here. I don't
get
want
the
to
freight
ruin
going.
your vacation, Jackpot, but here you go. Final call for calls if you'd like to join the program. Jay says SMU and Louisville. I think it may be SMU and Clemson. I'm not buying Florida State, man. Really not. Billy, welcome to the program, sir.
Hey, I'm late. Did y'all discuss? Do we have the correct women's USA basketball team headed to France?
You know that he's talking, of
I'm
course,
just
about
asking.
the WNBA All Stars beat Team USA in the, I guess it's an exhibition matchup.
It wasn't as close as the score. They had them. They had them hung up by 20 points at one time.
Well, and to be fair, a lot of those players that were on Team USA are WNBA All Stars as well. So I mean, I guess you've got your WNBA All Star second string team beat the first stringers. So I mean, there's that. I don't know.
Oh, I was just asking. I just wonder if we got the right team going over there.
I think that the second stringers could go over there and take home gold. By the way, quick note. I don't know if you guys caught this yesterday, but I watched Team USA's basketball game against South Sudan. I had to
Ooh,
Google
I
South
seen
Sudan.
that.
Yeah,
That's
they
where
just
Abdul the Butcher's from, I think.
It wasn't looking good.
The
Well, but-
madman from the Sudan.
We're in trouble.
they just became a country 14 years ago, and they took Team USA to the limit there. They really did. So I was pretty stunned by that. Well, they needed, 48-year-old LeBron James to get a layup there with like 8 seconds to go, and they still almost lost. So,
Hey, Did you see what was discussed at the SEC meetings, that who will be UT and who won't be UT?
What do you mean by that, sir?
Tennessee will be regarded as UT and Texas will be Texas. They will not be UT.
Are you serious?
Whatever.
They were arguing about that. That was the subject.
It was at the SEC meetings. It must have been important.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it was important to the 200 Tennessee fans that went there. No, we're the real UT, damn it.
There you go. And there's no penalty. There's not going to be a penalty for horns down.
Well, I mean,
That's
there
pretty
shouldn't be
trivial, too.
unless you're like up in somebody's face taunting. I mean, then no.
Wait a minute. Why can't we have? Tennessee and Texas play each other this year, right?
Right.
No, they don't.
I don't think. No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't.
Well, the first time they play each other in football, that's the battle for UT. Whoever wins gets to refer to themselves as UT, and the other university doesn't. Why don't we do it that way? Let's put our ball here, ladies and gentlemen. Why not?
Hold on a second.
Put your balls in the program. What the hell is Billy doing? Even Devin says that's fair. It is fair.
It's already been decided.
This Texas is UT. Tennessee is UT. Very good, sir. Very good.
Okay.
UT, yeah. I don't know. I'm in the camp of let them play for it. Then, make it a gentleman's agreement. Once we win, whoever wins this game gets to call themselves UT. They get the copyright, all that stuff. You can't call yourself UT anymore.
Well, that's like USC, the two USCs. When I pull up the recruiting rankings, I get all excited thinking SEC team is up there, but then I realize it's that Los Angeles school.
Well, I don't.
They need to fix that.
That's what my wife just said too. Why doesn't South Carolina and Southern Cal do that? No.
Yeah.
Well,
put a rooster or something.
Well, to that effect, they're still searching for a revenge win against us until they find it.
Damn it.
Well, they are.
What year was that?
1983.
Maybe that could be a simulation this year. We'll do that in the Sims jackpot. Southern Cal and South Carolina. We might do that too. We are going to do Colorado and Tennessee. That'll be down the road here in the next couple of days.
I can't believe y'all are doing that stuff. But anyway.
What do you mean you can't believe we're doing that stuff? Why not? It's a simulation where they put
He ain't really having to do anything but plug two teams in and hit play.
Yeah, I do commentary.
He didn't even break a sweat. Rob didn't even have to put on his deodorant and do that. Not that he was going to anyway.
Are you pissing on the work that I'm bringing to the program, sir? That's not nice.
No, I'm just saying it's relatively easy. That's a good thing.
It is. Once you get it set up.
Work smarter, not harder.
Oh, that's the reason I was asking about Chiefs. These games, have they come out yet? Because I remember my kids years ago, they'd get a game. It was within a week. They were running up the score and stuff.
I got it last Monday. So yeah, I mean it's been out for about a week now.
Huh. I swore I seen the I was watching the South Carolina. I swore I thought I seen some players with wristbands. I swore that came into the game.
Well, on EA Sports.
Yeah, that game.
You should get your PlayStation out. You and I'll play. Come on, Billy.
That would have been an awesome troll.
I have never.
What's the last video game you played?
I've never played. I've never have. Never.
Pac-Man.
Nope.
You've done that one.
You never played
Frogger.
You never played Pac-Man. You never played Pong.
I did Pong back in the 70s.
Well, you were in your 40s when that came out, I guess.
Yeah. In fact, I turned 69 the other day.
Happy birthday.
Well, thank y'all. Thank y'all.
All right. Well.
Hey, and you needed to. I was going to tell Jackpot he needed to go over to that Pilot Flying J and contribute to the UT program, our collective, because Haslam, who's the biggest donor to the UT program, he owns those. So go over there and drop some money.
This one over here was an independent one. I can guarantee you that nobody in that place knows who Tennessee is or what it was.
They probably do.
It was an Indian gas station that had a Pilot truck stop out behind it.
Thank you.
They didn't even serve the coffee. They have the Pilot cups and the drinks, the fountain drinks in the Pilot cups. Yeah. There's no Pilot decor anywhere in the country.
This is the Pilot Flying J, which are pretty nice.
It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. That place is dirty.
I was going to type it, but
like incense. I'm like, oh God.
When you went into the hotel, I was going to type it, but it wouldn't have the effect as if when you want to talk to the Indian guy, you want Slurpee? You want Slurpee?
Yeah, I know. Eat your hide.
Anyway, I figured that I figured you would want to play with it. I guess that's not happening there.
I don't know how to do that, sir. I never have.
We could send somebody over to help you.
I'm trying to figure out. I bought a new car the other day. I'm trying to figure out how to drive it.
Who sold you a car knowing your ass ain't got no license? Come on now.
I got a 25 Honda Pilot. The guy threw us the keys and said, test drive it. And we got in. We didn't know. My wife and I are both, for whatever it's worth, college graduates. We sat there, looked at you. There was no ignition. It's a push button start. We got that. But putting it in gear, it's buttons on the console between the passenger seat. You touch a button. P for park, R for reverse. It's buttons. Don't laugh at me.
For the Tennessee fan base here, hey, our car is you press the button, and
it's buttons.
It's buttons. A button in gear. Wow,
you do. What the most amazing thing about it is when you pass a speed limit sign, that sign pops up on your speedometer, your display.
Yeah, it does that in this car that I rented to drive up here too.
Yep.
I mean, it literally, I mean, it changes.
At the time you pass it.
They've got the coordinates or something in there.
Yep.
Where these signs are. It's nuts.
Well, the salesman took us out and got us on the
That's what
interstate.
these
It's
fucking
got
nerds can do nowadays.
this has got self-drive. It accelerates and brakes on its own. You don't have to do nothing if you don't want to.
Wow.
So,
I got nothing, sir. I don't know where to go from here on that.
it's what is this, Jason? Billy ain't been this confused.
Billy ain't been this confused since he stuck a piece of toast in the VCR slot.
All right, good.
Billy probably figured out how to program his VCR. Don't mock Billy. Come on now.
Hey, when I was stationed in North Dakota, I had a party at my house, and down in the basement, I had set up a stereo. It was from the 70s. It was a 8-track, and some of the kids, airmen that were come over by the house, they were flipping the flap on the 8-track. What does this do? They didn't know what it was, and I had to open up a box, and they put it in there, and they were besides themselves laughing at that. They did not know what that was. Hey, do you know the new cars don't have CD players in them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeepers.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I tell you what, in 20 years,
You know, they have TVs that have color in them now too.
I seen that the other day. I told my wife we had to get one of those.
They colorized Andy Griffith.
I think in the next 10 years, you're not going to have an AM band in your car. There'll be FM and not AM anymore. I don't see them having the AM anymore.
Real quick,
Dude, there's a lot of newspapers in South Carolina that show that. I remember my grandma used to take the Greer Citizen. It came out every Wednesday, and it's hung on for years and years. And I saw a post on Facebook last week, I think it was, at the end of August, that the Greer Citizen would be ceasing operations after 115 years or whatever.
When I lived in North Dakota, you knew you was out in the middle of nowhere on FM storage on your FM radio. When you hit search, it goes through and nothing.
What the hell? What were you doing in North Dakota?
I was stationed up there in the Air Force. I was at Minot Air Force Base. You have two up there. We got Grand Forks Air Force Base, and we got Minot. It's a B-52 base and a missile base.
Wow.
And when it did find something, it was an Indian station. They'd be announcing like, "This is Billy Running Bear with this new hit," Sioux Nation and stuff. And it was chanting. But yeah, you could hit search. It'd go through and not find a station. Anyway, good night.
Night.
I don't even know where to go with that. But hey, thanks, Billy. All right, well, Jackpot, what are your plans for your vacation here, fella? Are you gonna be you gonna give us a rundown on what you're doing?
Amusement park one day, maybe tomorrow. We're gonna go to the lake one day. It's supposed to rain up here for a couple of days, so we're gonna do that. We're probably not going to end up going to New York City or Queens, unfortunately. That's probably going to get scratched off.
You spent $8 for your transit map, sir. I was looking forward to you standing there and having.
I know. But I mean, we just kind of, the more and more we think about it, we just really don't want to. I just want to vegetate, We are going to go to the buffet, Jerry Wells. So I did a video when I went there last time, but I'll do another one. And I did a little video this morning from this pancake place that we ate at. And when I put it on TikTok last time, they blew up. I had like 90,000 views on something on TikTok. I had 260 people watch the pancake thing. I'm like, what the fuck, TikTok? Which I haven't posted anything in like a month. So that's probably it.
Yeah, I saw your video with the blueberry pancakes. That was pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it wasn't a very long video. It wasn't what I normally post up, but it's kind of weird.
So TikTok is very weird. Well, hopefully, will you be joining us for a show on Wednesday, sir?
As far as I know.
Well, I didn't know if you wanted some time off, man. I mean, we don't want to mess up last year you laid on the couch, draw me like one of those French girls. We didn't know if we were going to get more of that or not,
Yeah. No, yeah. As far as I know, I'm going to be here. I'm not really sure what we have planned for Wednesday. We're just kind of taking it as we go, you know.
That's good. All right. Well, oh, jackpot. I think I didn't tell you this. The rundown returns tomorrow.
Oh boy.
Yep. Tomorrow, I will be working. I'll present the 30 teams that have the that of those 30 will make the playoffs. These are the 30 teams that have a shot to make the playoffs. We'll have that for you tomorrow on
Uh,
the rundown. Jackpot
I'll
channel.
mention the contest before we get out of here tonight.
Yeah, the Callaway's Pick'em Challenge. That is up and running at robandkaleshow.com. Has anybody sent theirs over to you yet, Jackpot? I know people
They
have
have
asked.
not. They have
Well,
not.
you can be the first to get yourself in the Callaway's Pick'em Challenge. Callaway's takes care of the sponsorship for that, and we appreciate them. Big thing with this, $20. We pick 11 games each week. 10 of the games are worthwhile. One of them is at the Kale Hall Shitter. That's just what we call it. It's the game that no one wants, basically, but it's the worst game that's out there. And we'll have that for you. You pick every game against the spread. And
we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have a good time.
oh yeah, it's like a signature event for us. So it was a big, huge thing last year, and big every year. So $20 gets you in, and then you can do the Callaway's Pick'em Challenge. So there is that. Good to see Biden has an effect. Yeah. Well, look, I know that at times can be tough for some folks. I get that.
Well,
But-
that's not necessarily true. It has not affected the entry price, but maybe Bidenomics might affect someone's ability to get in. So in terms of that, you may have less people in. So then Bidenomics could affect it. But I guess there is no Bidenomics anymore. So
Yeah,
Well-
3 o'clock tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen.
well, which is not. I mean, he hasn't quit. Yeah, as president, but that's coming.
Well, Representative,
He's not going to run for re-election. So I mean, what's the use in him being sitting president? You know? Go ahead and step out. That's what he's going to do.
Representative Mace from South Carolina.
The
Yeah,
fucking
has,
quitter. The fucking
well-
quitter. No guts. No guts. Yeah, no guts.
She said that she wants to invoke the 25th Amendment. She's going to put a resolution out for that tomorrow. And I don't know if how that's going to go through or not, but if the 25th Amendment is active, then Kamala Harris will be the president of the United States for the rest of Biden's term. I don't think that's going to happen, but Nancy Mace, the first woman to graduate from the Citadel. So that's happening.
Schultz says it's William Tillage represent you. I think so. I think so.
Yeah. All right, so Colorado Tennessee stream will be up here eventually, and Jackpot will be with us on Wednesday. And the 30 teams that can make the playoff, I'll give you those tomorrow. I'll have that for you 3 o'clock tomorrow.
All right.
All right, Jackpot. Enjoy your time there. Look forward to whatever videos you come up with. Be careful with the deer/goat up there. Holy shit.
The mutant mammals that go unidentified.
Yeah. Whatever. Don't kill those things. They probably have legislation against them up there or something.
I'm sure.
All right, bud. Take care. We'll see you guys later on.
All right, guys. Have a good one.